Yeah, the Commanders lost to the Green Bay Packers, and it hurts more because I got a colleague at work that's a Packers fan and I'm a Commanders fan, so it actually hurts. I'm a believer of Jayden Daniels. I am a believer of Jayden Daniels, but there's this narrative now that maybe NFL schemes have started to figure him out. Let's talk about it. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe, especially you NFL fans. I talk about everything here: football, basketball, NFL, cricket. We're not talking about cricket, definitely not cricket. But subscribe and keep up to date with everything we're doing around here. It's my first NFL video, so first things first, the Commanders lost to the Green Bay Packers. We got battered. I'll be real, we got battered. We were 27-18 lost to the Green Bay Packers. Lambeau, I got told to be scared of Lambeau, and I wasn't scared of Lambeau, and now I'm scared of Lambeau. Yeah, and obviously Jayden Daniels didn't play well. I'm not gonna lie to you. He didn't play well. He missed a lot of open looks for players. Terry McLaurin wide open space. Debo as well was a lot of good running. Zach Ertz got a touchdown, but he was wide open on a lot of looks as well. But I think, yeah, we struggled a lot to compete in that game. On the offensive side, we looked tentative offensively. I think we only made about 230 yards, which isn't great, which is terrible for us. We only converted 31% of third down. We are, if you watched us last season, we're a third down completing team. If you watched us last season, you know we're a third down completing team. That's what we do. We take it, we risk the plays, we go for it, and we make the plays, especially with the offensive versatility of Jayden Daniels, who can rush the ball and also can throw the ball and is good in tight pockets. But in this game, apparently the second lowest QBR of Jayden Daniels' career, we didn't look good. I'm going to be honest with you, he didn't look good at all. Yeah, he didn't look like he wanted to rush the ball often. He did take one that was pretty close to a first down. That was pretty good considering the circumstances he had down the right hand side. I think it was in the second quarter or third quarter. No, it was definitely we were attacking that way, so it's probably the second quarter. Yeah, where he took it and rushed down the side, which was a pretty decent run, but a lot of the times it wasn't good from him, to be fair. But I mean, we have to start. People are saying that now that people have a map on him, I think it's the CJ Stroud part 2. First and foremost, CJ Stroud still made the playoffs last year. I mean, didn't have a bad season. He didn't himself individually have a great season, but didn't have a bad season by any stretch of imagination. There's a lot of players with a lot worse seasons. But you have to forget, we are forgetting right now the Giants, who, by the way, the Giants aren't no slouches, by the way, this season. The Giants, they lost the second game of the season as well to they literally lost last night. Who did they play? It was to the Cowboys. They lost to the Cowboys in overtime. It shows you, especially you saw game week 1 of the Cowboys. The Cowboys looked electric. It shows you just how good they can be with Russ and Malik connecting. If they can have that connection, the Giants will be good. But we dismantled the Giants pretty definitively. Our defense this season, by the way, has been fantastic. I know first game we didn't concede a touchdown. Second game we conceded 27, but it was a tentative 27. Like, didn't have to be 27. But I can't blame the defense for this. I think Jayden Daniels didn't have a good game, but I think we have to look at it and say the main issue he has faced this season is pass protection. He hasn't been protected on the ball. Everybody's pass rush defense everyone's pass rushing is fantastic against us because our offensive line hasn't been good. We brought in new players. We brought in the rookie Josh Conley Jr., brought in Von Miller. These offensive tackles, these end players that are meant to come in and shore up our offensive line, and the offensive line hasn't looked better. It hasn't looked better at all. So, like, realistically, let's even take a look at one of the plays that I did see, and it really did annoy me a lot, to be fair, watching it. This is just one of them. It's a Michael Parsons sack, because look, if you see him there, Josh Conley Jr. is on Michael Parsons. Josh Conley Jr. is on one of the best, I think it's between him and TJ Watt, pass rushers in the league. He's let him inside his shoulder, first and foremost, isn't in front of him. Has been done. If you go, I'm going to take it back slightly, that's just 5 seconds. It goes back 5 seconds, and we'll go, put it in slow-mo slightly. I know you haven't seen it yet, but put it back slightly in slow motion. if you look, takes it, that little sidestep there. I know you don't get it a lot in college football, and it was perfectly timed, that little sidestep, and he just got past him so easily. So easily, and it's an easy sack for Parsons. It could have been an easy sack for just Parsons, but I guess the other one wanted the tackle as well. But it's genuinely, it's so easy. He's got past him in like 0.2 seconds. If you put it back to regular speed, there, check the ball, gets past him so easily. And I know Michael Parsons is a great pass rusher, but the fact you've let him through so easily has just shown that there's a lot to work on. There's simply a lot to work on in that. I mean, he's a rookie. In the first game, people are saying the same things. They're saying he's coming up against Burns. They're saying he's coming up against Abdul Carter, some of the best pass rushers in the league apparently. But you're gonna come up against the best of the best week in, week out. You're our first round pick, I think he was our first round pick or our second round pick, but you were the pick of the ball. Trey Amos didn't look amazing, mind you, but Trey Amos wasn't expected. Trey Amos was a deeper round pick. It was a good pull, but a deeper round pick. Josh Conley Jr. was meant to be that athletic, agile big to play in the offensive line, and his agility hasn't been seen. Abdul Carter was killing him in that first game. We have given up, I think, 7 sacks on Jayden Daniels in the first 2 games, and Jayden Daniels now just had his MRI on his sprained knee, and he might be out for the game against the Raiders. Mind you, we lose to the Raiders anyway, we're rubbish, but still, I think Jayden Daniels should play. I think Jayden Daniels should play because it's a stat pad game. I think the Raiders' offense is okay, but their defense is still isn't. I mean, I have like 3 players in defense holistically, so I think we should do it just to give Jayden Daniels his confidence. And we have a lot of tough games coming up. But honestly, I think the main issue that we're facing in general is that offensive line. And I think Dan Quinn has got to get it right, because he's got the defense right now that's working. Marshawn Lattimore, all these players, same as still taking strides, taking really good strides as a cornerback. And you're seeing ourselves get better and better. But the issue is now we have to take that jump. Now we have old heads in our offensive line, and Josh Conley Jr. Bates as well. We have a lot of players that aren't going to develop as long as these old players are in, and these old players haven't got the agility, the foot speed to take on the best of the best. Because if we come up in the playoffs, playing a team like the Packers, playing a team like the Chiefs, you know what I mean? We're playing these teams, obviously, other side of the conference, but if we get to the Super Bowl, we play a team like the Chiefs or the Ravens. We play a team like the Eagles in our side, you know what I mean? So we have to be able to come up against the best pass rushers in the world, because the best pass rushers are typically on our side. They're in the NFC, they're not in the AFC. But even so, I was reading an article, if we take a look here, I did like what Dan Quinn said. He said it's September football, and they're going to make mistakes before they make their footings, but they need to bounce back and learn from the errors, because it's simply a lot of errors. Here it says there, we didn't finish tries. We got a couple good plays, and then we'd get to the third down and not be able to convert. Here we are, 31%. I told you it's 230 yards, and 31% on third downs. 31% on third downs. That's not good enough at all for a team like us who are able to play in that. And cool, Matt Gay should be making some of those kicks, but we were down by 9 points. We were down by at least a touchdown. Either way, at least he makes one of those kicks. We're still down by at least a touchdown. I mean, Matt Gay should have made, there's 2 kicks at the end of the first, they should have made, but cool, those 2, there's still 3 points. So we needed at least a touchdown, and some of that comes down to becoming better and better in our offensive line. I think it's as simple as that, and I hope Dan Quinn can get it better, to be honest. I'm looking forward to the game next week against the Raiders. If Jayden Daniels is fit, I pray on everything Jayden Daniels is fit. He's in my fantasy as well, and I just smoked my guy. I need to hold that. But yeah, I need Jayden Daniels fit for the Raiders game, because I think this is a game to make a statement, a comeback statement. We need a comeback win. It's important that we have that comeback win. But anyways, peoples, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, my guys. Listen, there's loads of content to come, whether it be NFL or maybe MLB, basketball and football. basketball season's coming up next month. We're in the football season right now. Champions League starts this week. I can't wait. I'll see you, man, in a bit.